Trust. People are not so good at it, and every one of us know it. With Bitcoin, we're handing the trust issues over to the computers. Bitcoin so far have been doing good with all of people's money. Well, you may be asking, what about all the Bitcoin hacks that I've been reading online? It's because of this one thing, and one thing only: carelessness. This new kind of money is destroying our currencies. Data doesn't lie, and it's time we should be equipped with Bitcoin skills. In essence, Bitcoin combines this, and this, each adding tremendous values to the table. Peer-to-peer for censorship resistance, open source for transparency, blockchain for security. Bitcoin is a system that has borrowed a bit each from almost a dozen things. Do you know, for any startup to succeed, the major reason behind their success is not the team, not the business model, not the funding, not even the idea. It's timing. Amazon entered retail at the right time. Facebook entered social media at the right time. And TikTok reimagined social media at the right time. Time it right, and you will succeed. Bitcoin is often pitched as a replacement of the bank. How innovative can it be? The incredible growth of Bitcoin price makes it a worthy contender to the most valuable thing that these companies were monetizing. Can you guess what it is? When I hear the words free, I wonder how they make money. Can you guess the most valuable thing these companies consider as their asset? It's our time and attention. Google sees average visit duration. YouTube sees watch time. It is not really free. The concept of advertising sells our time and attention, generating billions of dollars. When you think about it, money exists only in our minds. As we grow older, we gradually begin to accept the norms of the society. There were even times when people went crazy for these things. Long ago, pineapple was a rare fruit. Don't know if it's the crown-like look or its vibrant tropical flavor. It was very expensive. You don't get to see it in a pizza. People even rented it to show off. Eventually, it became a status symbol. But as years passed, as it was being planted widely, and when supply met demand, prices came down and is now affordable to everyone. And some of us hate pineapple pizza. Tulips had a similar story. To exchange goods and services conveniently, people moved from one system to another, searching for a better solution. That's when a handful of people envisioned an idea that will eventually make them riches, robbing people of their purchasing power. When you think about it, money is just some random numbers. You see them in your smartphone screen, the magical numbers that's being handled by bank servers. It's kind of like a virtual vault. Banks use these supercomputers to process our transactions at lightning-fast speeds. Banks also help you double your investment in 7 years or less by keeping 1% of your money in the reserve and lends out the remaining, earning a profit as well. And in times of bad economic situations, these supercomputers owned by the elite creates new money to help everyone, literally everyone. Sometimes there is a blunder. No problem, as long as they offer attractive interest rates, and there is a blunder again. No problem, as long as corruption is curbed, and there is a blunder again. Bitcoin is an innovative payment network and a new kind of money. That's what their website says. Why do we need a new kind of money? What is the problem with current money? And where does money even come from? Except in Mr. Beast's videos, money doesn't grow on trees. The real money is your time and freedom to do things that matters the most to you. But the real money in this imaginary world turns out to be these things. These people handle those money. Bailouts, bailouts, and bailouts later. Bitcoin fundamentally changes how we trust the system that handles our money. By combining foolproof technologies in this innovative payment network, anybody can see the source, anybody can participate, and anybody can mine the rewards. Here are the rules: limited supply, irreversible payments, and there is no censorship. The idea seems promising, but it also created problems such as hoarding and high fees. Hodlers say it's convenient and better than a bank. Critics say it's doomed to failure. Bluff or brainy? We are gonna see. During the pandemic, streaming services downgraded their video quality. Do you know why? Government doesn't want you to know few things. Do you know why? A single point of failure can disrupt the whole network. Do you know what? It all happens in central systems. What's the solution then? Welcome to peer-to-peer systems. For obvious reasons, we will simply call it as a person-to-person system, or simply P2P. Let's say I have a short film that I want to share with you. In a central system, everyone downloads the file from a central server. Usually, a big corporation pays loads of money for internet bandwidth, and it's very inefficient at times. With P2P networks, anybody can share anything with anyone, just utilizing their upload and download speeds. There's a lot of negativity associated with the word torrents. But if you are the sole owner of your product, you can transfer it via P2P network. It's 100% legal. To illustrate, I share this torrent file with you. That has enough info to request the short film from my computer. We both need something called a torrent application, such as BitTorrent or uTorrent, to run this file. As soon as you add the file, my computer starts uploading the file and your computer starts downloading. BitTorrent slices the file into multiple pieces for easy transfer. You receive each piece of the file in a truly random fashion. Since I am the one having a full file with all the pieces, I am called as a seed. The process of uploading it to you is called as seeding. From the moment you start receiving the file till you download it fully, you're called as a peer. When the download completes and when you have 100% of the file, all the pieces are merged together. Bingo.
Thank you.
So, what brings you to the land of the gatekeepers?
I'm searching for someone.
Now you became a seed. As more and more people or peers enter the network, a lot of pieces circulate, making the download reliable and fast. Even if I, the original uploader, stops seeding for some reason, the network still runs and every peer can be able to download because of other peers or seeds. This type of P2P system is called as a decentralized system, the one without any central authority. Bitcoin Network works pretty much the same way. As soon as you run Bitcoin Core software in your computer, it starts searching for all the peers and requests data to download. Since the blockchain is constantly growing, no one here is a seed. Everyone is a peer. This is Block 0. In a block, you can load transactions and messages. The unknown creator of Bitcoin loaded this message in Block 0. Conventionally, the first transaction in a block is a special transaction. Since there is no central authority to issue the coins, we need to trust the system to issue the coins at a predictable rate. In the beginning, it was 50 Bitcoins. The system then timestamped the transactions. The timestamp proves that the data must have existed at the time in order to get into the hash. Hash looks like a cryptic word. It takes any amount of data and converts into fixed-length gibberish text. Why to use a hash? It's a one-way equation. Reversing the hash to see original data is almost impossible. I say almost because it depends on the security security of the system. Any weak encryption can be decrypted easily with enough computing power. To make it secure, Bitcoin uses secure hashing algorithm developed by NSA. It is said to be one of the most secure hashing algorithms in the world. Using that algorithm requires processing power of the computer to validate the block. This is the proof of work. The process of validating the block is called mining. The mining rewards are called as, lo and behold, Bitcoins. Originally, it was designed to reward 50 Bitcoins per block, which takes roughly 10 minutes to mine. This is the current value of a single block that was mined 12 years ago, using only CPU power and electricity for just 10 minutes. But it can't go on forever. For anything to have value, the supply needs to be scarce, limited in quantity. So, every 210,000 blocks, which roughly translates to 4 years, just like a leap year, the supply reduces by half, a rule the creator of Bitcoin enforced in the network for some reason. Nobody believed if the system would ever work apart from its creator. And for anything to have value, people need to agree it has value. Our fiat currencies are considered valuable because it is backed by our government's faith. Few governments failed their people, but it's not always the case. The correct workings of the block gave a glimmer of hope for the creator of Bitcoin. In fact, whoever invented it knew that it would one day take off. It was neither the prediction nor the luck, rather, persistence. In fact, the creator spent the next 6 days to perfect the system and to assure that everything was going right according to the plan. Once a block has been mined, the new information needs a new block. Every new block stores the hash of the previous block. This process of chaining the blocks using cryptography is called blockchain. If you keep this blockchain yourself, it's no longer a money for all. That's when blockchain met the P2P network. Anybody can store the blockchain. Doesn't require setups like Google's data center. You can do it with your computer and a hard drive. By running Bitcoin, you agree to its rules, that this is the current supply and this amount of processing power and electricity is required to mine this amount of rewards. The specialty of Bitcoin's blockchain is, if anyone tries to tamper with any of the data, they need to go back in time to do it. Doing so will break the chain, so the attacker has to use a massive amount of processing power and electricity to mine the blocks, only to reverse a transaction, which may not be worth spending too much money for. Unless there is a critical bug, you can't create money out of thin air. Simply, any attempt to change the data in previous block messes up everything. Also, all other peers reject the change. This is where democracy comes in. If Bitcoin blocks are validated by 100 peers, a single party controlling 51 peers and 51% processing power of the entire network and electricity required to power 20 million average households can successfully reverse a transaction. But given that loss clearly outweighs profit, an attack against Bitcoin will be an expensive mistake. Bitcoin has a reward mechanism. Instead of using the processing power against the network, if used to mine, they'll reap rewards in Bitcoin. The process of reaping rewards, called as Bitcoin mining, involves the usage of vast amount of processing power and enormous electricity just to mine a single block. This is called as the proof of work. Each hour, the global system is designed to generate 6 new blocks. If blocks are generated too fast, the proof of work difficulty increases, keeping the global average 6 an hour. Difficulty of mining each block is set using the hash. Remember the hash? The number of zeros determine the difficulty. All blocks are chained together using previous hash. Hashing is a concept in cryptography. Cryptography is like a secret sauce for security. We've seen that the Bitcoin uses
SHA-256.
SHA-256 is a member of the SHA-2 cryptographic hash functions designed by the National Security Agency, or simply NSA. SHA stands for Secure Hash Algorithm. Take any piece of data, process with SHA-256. You get a fixed 64-digit hexadecimal values. Reversing the hash to generate data is almost impossible unless you hack SHA-256. Big Tech stores your password in a similar way. You enter your plain text passwords and they store it as a hash in their database. Even if their database is hacked, hash to plain text password conversion is almost impossible. Of course, Big Tech has stored our passwords in plain text formats on multiple occasions, risking our data. This is about Bitcoin, so let's just stick with the topic. Where are we? SHA-256 converts the data into gibberish text, where reversing is almost impossible. This acts as a foundation behind Bitcoin security, backing potentially billions of dollars. Mining is predictable. If you use this amount of processing power backed by this amount of electricity, you can mine this number of Bitcoins. Since it is developed by an agency involved in many controversial projects, Bitcoin community also have a contingency plan, a plan B.